Good evening, good evening, good evening, good night, good night for some of you guys. I hope you guys had a fabulous day. Nobody has dropped down, but I see you in the clouds. Oh, I have a drop down. Happy life, grand afternoon, happy life. I hope you had a fabulous day. So, Um, for those of you who are aware of what's going on around you that may affect you and how you live your life, I'm pretty sure you already know that big, bombastic, bad for everyone, unless you're a mega rich person, has passed the House and the Senate, and it was returned to the House where they were blustering like they weren't going to sign the bill, but of course they signed the bill. So, um, if you please hit the like buttons for me, I appreciate that. So, the that bill has passed. So there we have it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, we'll see what all these non-voters and I'm voting for Trump voters have to say once the effect and the impact of this horrible bill goes into effect. So my day is pretty good. Work was busy. It's time for the Ronnie Q show. You hit the like button. I appreciate you for hitting the like button. So let me see. What else did I want to talk about? Let's get into the truth about what's in this allegedly beautiful bill. So 4547 doesn't seem to even know what was in the bill himself. In speaking with some people from the House, he said, well, all you have to tell people is we're not touching Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, when in fact they are touching Medicaid. So there's that. Let me let me share something with you guys. I don't want to join my own membership. My God. Let me let me get back on my right page. Here we go. Okay, let me share this with you right now. And if you yes, I do have goals. My goals are to hmm, what is this? My goals are to share with you something you may not have heard about. So during this big, beautiful bill, they had a vote to, once it got back to the House, they had a vote to uh, continue. They had to take a vote, a procedural vote, to put it on the floor for the actual vote. And there were five Republicans who said that they weren't going to vote on the bill. And for many reasons, it added trillions to the deficit. There was a time when Obama was in office, when Clinton was in office, when any Democrat was in office, that if they wanted to put something in the budget, the Republicans would bemoan them and say, well, if you want to add something to the budget, you have to take something out of the budget. You had to pay for it in advance. Not so much now. Those $1 trillion be damned. We just gonna we need to totally suspend the debt limit entirely. Okay, we can just put any amount of whatever we want in the budget, and don't worry about the debt ceiling. So there's that. So let me share this with you. So they were trying to win over these staunch Republicans who said that, hey, they have principles and these things must be paid for. So how did they win them over? People who are standing on the moral high ground about paying for things that we put in the budget. How did they win some of these over? Let's take a look. Let me make sure it's on the right speed. Okay, here we go.
President was wonderful, as always, informative, funny. Told me he liked seeing me on TV. Yeah, he signed a bunch of stuff. It's cool.
So Donald Trump is bribing United States Republican congressmen to vote for this budget bill. The Freedom Caucus, the most dedicated to the prospect of freedom and liberty, and they have their ideologies all square. You can't sway them. You certainly can't bribe them. And what if you were to attempt to bribe a Freedom Caucus member? What would it take? Something notably, it would have to be something very off the charts, very valuable to make a dent into the integrity of a Republican member of the Freedom Caucus, right? If you thought right, no, you're wrong. Here's a headline for the New York Times. Trump goes on charm offensive as he woos holdout Republicans. President Trump worked the phones and welcomed Republicans to the White House to cajole them into supporting his mega bill. They left with signed merchandise and photos of the Oval Office. That's all it takes. And if you're questioning, that's just the New York Times. There's no way that's true, right? There's no way that that's all it takes to get into the mind to convince one of these stalwart ideologues in the Freedom Caucus to vote for Donald Trump's bankrupting bill, the bill that's going to add trillions and trillions of dollars to the national debt while robbing 16 or 17 million Americans of their health insurance, decimating the poor and working class in this country, adding to the funding in our already Nazi-like security state with Donald Trump's secret police. It's a nightmare. So if you
Okay, so that's all it took was some merch and some pressing the flesh with these congressmen and saying, "Oh, I like seeing you on TV," flattering these numbnuts. Hey, Tay forever, grand rising, grand evening. Thank you for being here. Let's see.
Think that no, it would take more than that. You'd be wrong, because here is Tim Burchett, one of these Freedom Caucus dipshits, talking about with gushy giddiness about his autograph merch from the dipshit fascist president of the United States.
At the White House today, we watched a parade of Republicans filing into the West Wing as President Trump engaged in a charm offensive to try to win them over. Some of those that you saw going into the West Wing here on West Exec, that driveway right by the White House, are moderates who are skeptical of the bill and its changes that it makes to Medicaid. Others are from the far-right House Freedom Caucus. They say they're not on board with this bill because of the trillions of dollars it is projected to add to the federal deficit. All of them are seeking assurances from the president that they'll get something.
And notice that all of them did, in fact, vote on this horrible bill.
Out of voting yes, and some of them also seem to be looking for swag.
President was wonderful, as always, informative, funny. Told me he liked seeing me on TV, which is kind of cool. I'm incredibly humble. Yeah, he
told me he liked seeing me on TV, which is kind of cool. I bet you he didn't even give you a pair of those signed gold gold sneakers. No. That is for the black people. The black people like sneakers and gold and all that. I bet. Did he give you one of those gaudy Trump watches that don't keep time? Did you even get a $100,000 Trump watch that doesn't keep time? No, you got some merch. Okay,
But, it's cool.
Yeah.
oh, that's fun stuff. It's cool. Okay, let me go forward. If you guys are not subscribed to this page, the link is in my description box.
The White House in the early afternoon, their attitude seemed categorized it. A clique of House Freedom Caucus members walked out of the White House in the early afternoon. Their attitude seemingly adjusted. Representative Tim Burchett, a Republican of Tennessee, was one of them. He posted a video on social media that I just showed you, gushing about the 2-hour experience he just had with his president. Quote, the president was one.
You think he got to reach around and skeeted upon into gushing about a 2-hour meeting to change his vote, to not have any moral guide rails against things that he thought would hurt the people of Tennessee who put him in the office for those express reasons. It's not about them. It's about 45, 47.
Wonderful is all I'm not going to read all the quotes. You just watch the video. Mr. Burchett told the New York Times later on that his name had been misspelled on the placard placed in front of his chair for the cabinet room meeting. It was missing an R. So the president scribbled in the letter, signed both sides of the card, and gave it to him as a souvenir. Mr. Burchett said the president.
A souvenir, a misspelled place card. And he decided to come out and talk about that as if it was souvenirish. Let's continue.
Also loaded up the son of Representative Chip Roy, Republican of Texas, with souvenirs. Tchotchkes. They're selling out the United States of America for autograph merch. Going against long-held beliefs, long-held ideas about the budget, about spending, about being good stewards of the American taxpayer dollar, about the CBO itself. Tim Burchett was on CNN last night with Breonna Keeler, and she took him to task.
Oh, yes, she got in his ass. If you missed this is one of the ones the CBO says it is going to cost this, and therefore you must pay for it. And we trust the CBO. But now all of a sudden, what does he think about the CBO that it says it will throw 17 million people out of Medicaid, and it will add $3 to $4 trillion to the debt.
A rare moment of good journalism from Breonna Keeler and the CNN team, holding Tim Burchett to account for his previous adoration and respect and adherence to the findings of the CBO, that he now is saying is a partisan operation, even though it's run by a Republican. Watch this. And also, he's doing the old, I can't hear you. Ma'am, what are you saying, y'all?
We're going to have to end this. I can barely hear you. I hope I'm giving you the right answer. Something's wrong. I lost connection.
Watch this.
So you're taking issue with the CBO estimate here?
Yes, ma'am, I do have an issue with it. The office is very partisan. I mean, 85% of the people in their healthcare division identify as a Democrat, or they've contributed to Democrats, or they're registered Democrats.
So that means that they can't add. So would that mean that they can't add? 85% in partisan, they're registered as Democrat. And as you heard Mike Dolomite say that it is run by a Republican. But just because of whatever your political party is, that means that you can't add.
They're leading, I believe they're leading economists is that we ought to do away with these organizations because we use them when we like them. We don't use them when we don't like them.
And you are the one who uses them when you like them and didn't use them when you didn't like them. And now you're saying you ought to do away with them because it embarrasses you when it's thrown in your face that you are the one who uses the CBO when you like it, and when you don't like it, you want to say it's some partisan operation.
And you've got a bunch of bureaucrats in here that are on a lifetime gravy train. And frankly, we've got
You got a bunch of bureaucrats in here. I thought Elon Musk got rid of all the bureaucrats, and they have Trump loyalists. They're hiring Trump loyalists. Do say? Let's continue.
independent agencies that can do that. We have people up here with accounting degrees that can do the math. So I feel like that is a waste of taxpayers' money.
So in January 2024, there was a Republican who trusted the CBO so much that they reintroduced a resolution to require the House clerk to read the CBO estimate of any bill. I believe that was you, sir, the third time you introduced that resolution. Is that right?
That's correct, ma'am. Of course, and that proves
But
just
you
what
don't
I
like
said.
the
When it serves
CBO
us,
now.
ma'am.
Now, did you hear him say when it serves us? So when it doesn't serve you, you don't demand that the numbers from the CBO be read. Be read. Be clear. He said when it serves us, and that is all of this Republican Party is about. They don't give a fuck about no budget. They don't give a fuck about the people who put them in office. They give a fuck about the closeness and proximity to power, and keeping that proximity to power.
And that proves
But
just
you
what
don't
I
like
said.
the
When it serves
CBO
us,
now.
When it
Ma'am.
serves us, I want you to hear that
Require
again.
the House clerk to read the CBO estimate of any bill. I believe that was you, sir, the third time you introduced that resolution. Is that right?
That's correct, ma'am. Of course, and that proves
But
just
you
what
don't
I
like
said.
the
When it serves
CBO
us,
now.
ma'am.
But you don't like the CBO now. You introduced that resolution over multiple years, but now you're dissing the CBO.
Did the bill pass?
Your
Did the
resolution?
bill pass? Yes, ma'am.
You introduced it, sir.
I know
It's
it, ma'am, but did it
irrelevant.
pass? They never pass because nobody wants any verification. It proves my point. When it serves
The
us
point,
well,
you took a
when it
stance and
serves
you were
us well,
you're
we're for it. But when it doesn't, we don't. So
you're clear about
I
where
would
you
like-
are on the CBO. I just want to say, but just to get to where you said earlier that you were closer to voting yes after speaking with the president. I saw the vice president sent you put a nice tweet up that you responded to. What did the president say to you that made you feel maybe
Nothing.
closer to voting yes?
Nothing.
He talked about the economic output that we would have that was not in the CBO scores, and along those lines, he talked about other things that I'm not going to share, but because it was in privacy.
Because it's not worth sharing. It is not worth changing your vote and adding $4 trillion to the deficit.
But I think there's a lot of things that probably be revealed when this is passed, and I think America will embrace it further.
I mean,
Oh, so we're supposed to trust that you were told something, and that has to remain secret until after the bill is passed, and you think that America is going to embrace it. Okay, so this link is on my community wall. You can avail yourself to that motherfucker and his bullshit a little more. So let me share something else with you. Right quick. Let me see what you guys are talking about. Hey, Barry Carey. Wait a minute. Is this my morning? Hey, YouTube cameras. Is this my morning? Hellos. I saw Barry Carey in there this morning. Hey, Sandy, shaking my damn head. Exactly. Hey, Room Shaker. Okay. So we know all of this is happening. I do want to give you guys some information about AI. That I'm going to end with this AI conversation because this AI situation is quite frightening. If you guys have been watching my news, I told you how from Palantir, Meta, and what is the other Google? What is the other AI? I always forget the Altmans. Something AI. I always forget Steve Altman's AI, the other big AI company. They have made their CFOs uh, one level of a general in the selected service in the I think it's the army. These people, I want you to understand, have never gone through basic training. They have never been in the service. They have entered our military one level under a general. And these people are all proficient in AI. Palantir, for example, is proficient in hunting out people and rating people on the given putting them in a number systems of how how important it is to kill people. If you're number one, you're low on the list of people who need to be killed. But if you're on number one and you live, for example, in the same apartment complex as Happy Life, and Happy Life is a number nine on the kill list because of who he goes to church with, and that person is a number 10 on the kill list, which means they're looking to eliminate them immediately. And because Happy Life happens to go to church with him, he's on number nine on the kill list. And you would normally be number one on the kill list, but you live in the same apartment complex as Happy Life. So you are also going to get a higher level on the kill list based upon Palantir's rating of people and when they need to die. And okay, so they do this with their AI. Now they have this person over the AI division who has entered our selected service one hair down from a general and has never been in the service. It's a whole lot of scary shit going on. And what they keep not telling you about this big beautiful bill, but they keep not telling you about this big beautiful bill, and Marjorie Taylor, okay, what they keep not telling you about this big beautiful bill is that no state can independently make any changes to AI. If there's any changes done through AI, it has to be at the federal level. So it's no, the states knows what's best for them. The states knows what's best for them when it comes to FEMA and the billions of dollars that it takes to make you whole after a storm comes through and ravish your state. But the state don't know best about AI and putting brakes on AI and what AI can do and what information AI can have on you. No, the states don't know better for that. Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the bill went to the House first, and once they start talking about this AI provision in the bill, she was all over any TV that was in her face. And she's always over any TV that's in her face. I didn't know that was in the bill, and I have strong concerns about that. And now the bill has already you passed the bill. It's on its way to the Senate, but now you have regrets. But once it is passed in the Senate, it has to go back to the House for a vote. Did Marjorie Taylor Greene and her concerns then rectify her voting for something that had something in there that she is deathly afraid of? No, the bitch went on and voted yes on it anyway. So all of this was some plausible deniability. I didn't know. There was another dude who said he didn't know about how the bill also included a clause that would make it harder. What was it? It would make it harder for the administration to be held under judges' rulings, which means basically the administration can ignore judges. Well, he went to a town hall meeting, and one of his constituents asked him that. He's like, "I didn't know it was in the bill." So now they're pretending like they didn't know these things were in the bill, and then they turn around when the bill gets back to them, they sign it anyway. So they're fucking lying to the people face when they have to see the people. And so Donald Trump said that, if these people don't vote for his bill, he's going to primary them. He's threatening people. Isn't that some like Hitler type shit? If you don't do what I want you to do, it's not what your people want you to do. If you don't do it, I'm going to make sure you don't win your next primary. I'm going to make sure you're thrown out of office. Well, shouldn't the people throw these people out of office who are Hey, Jill, thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me meet my goals. Shouldn't the people throw these congressmen and senators out of office anyway? I don't even understand the threat of this. Because they can sit up and they said that the only thing that they have to do now that the bill is passed is messaging. What you gonna message? What you gonna say? That you have made the biggest disparity in between the rich and the poor ever in this nation? What are you gonna say? You're gonna say that you have set generations of people who are not rich to live in abject poverty? What are you going to say when people start getting sick and only have emergency rooms to use as their doctors? And because they only have emergency rooms to use as their doctors, they go at the last minute when something that could have been prevented is now chronic, something that they have put off checking on, that uncomfortable feeling in their nuts, that uncomfortable feeling in their back, that uncomfortable feeling in their chest, that they ignore and ignore and ignore until they cannot deal with it anymore, and they go to the fucking hospital emergency room because that's the only physicians that they have access to, only to be told that they have stage 4 of some disease that they could have caught early on if they still had Medicaid, and was able to have a primary care physician who could have possibly caught these chronic illnesses before you are getting a fucking a flyer to the next hospice place where you can go and die your ass off at. And all of these people that are using these emergency room, what do you think it's going to do to the people who still happen to have a little piece of it, insurance? Your premium's going to go up. Your co-pays are going to go up. Everything is going to go up. And while we're speaking about Palantir, Palantir is going to be able to control what your doctors are able to treat you for. This is one of the things that Palantir, but see, they're not talking about this type of shit that's in this big, beautiful bill. And people act as if, oh, well, whatever they gonna do, whatever they gonna do. Same motherfuckers who said that at the election time. And not only have they hurt themselves and now they can't talk about it, they don't even have an understanding about what is about to come down the pipe. How is a defense agent gonna be able to tell your doctors what they are able to treat you for? They already have an order of importance that you are on this earth. They already have a method of determining your worth on this earth. Okay, so they already have that. So now you sick and going to the doctors, and they control what treatment you're able to get at the doctor. What the fuck do you think they're gonna do to you if they do their AI evaluations and find like, hey, Jill Comfort Zone, she's she's high, she's 9 on the list, whatever. Off with her head. I'm serious. Okay. Not Jill. Jill, I just saw your name, and I don't want anything bad to happen to Jill, of course. Now, I have a lot of things. Not you, Jill. Not you, Jill. I just happened to see your orange, and it just I was Ronnie Hugh. Let me use myself for an example. I'm the best example. Yeah, she has a high number on Palantir's not worth being on this earth, not worth spending the money on, but they spend the money on Palantir. See, while Palantir is doing all this, they're doing it for what? They're doing it for profit. These are people who are billionaires already, and they're profiting off of this fucking shit. So, if you haven't watched, I think it was somewhere between Friday and today, I did an expose on Palantir. Go back in my description boxes from the last week, and you will see the in the description box where I break down Palantir. Palantir, who also were the supporters of J.D. Vance's all of his political runs. Palantir, who is also keen on the Curtis Yarvin, who is a white supremacist, and what is his name? Peter Thiel is and JD Vance is a big fan of this Nazi deniers musings and his thoughts and his musings, and it makes a lot of sense to both Peter Thiel and JD Vance. Okay, so let me give you this about AI, because I just want to give you guys some information that may be new to you, and let's check it out. Hold on. Let me find it. I have it open. Okay. Hold on. Let me find it. I gotta go back in here. I'll find it right now. It's in my link. It is under the truth about AI. So this is on More Perfect Union. If you're not subscribed to More Perfect Union, I think that you will enjoy it. It gives you straightforward stories, and it gives you a lot of information on some things that I think that you would be interested in. Okay, I'm sharing the link. Hey, Renee, it is good to see you. Okay. They're talking about AI.
The 9 people on stage are shaping global artificial intelligence policy. Representatives from America, the European Union, global tech giants. A year ago, the question was how to make AI safely work for people. Now, America's answer is clear. That's optional.
The AI future is not to be won by hand-wringing about safety.
I was in the room during JD Vance.
You're not going to win the AI future by hand-wringing over safety. That's what your vice president says. How is it going to be? You're not going to have to worry about the safety of certain individuals. What individuals do you think? Okay, let's go on.
Speech, and it did really feel like a shift in the entire space around AI regulation.
Right now, AI systems are deciding who gets medical care, loans, job interviews, often illegally, and no one's watching, which is exactly what the tech industry wants. Now,
Sam Altman, that is the one who I keep forgetting. He is over OpenAI. He has a representative who is also one level down from a general. Sam Altman, Peter Thiel, Meta. I think Meta has one, Peter Thiel has one, and Sam Altman has 2 people who have never been in the service, are inducted into our military. down from and let me go back here. Now you heard what they said. They're deciding things about your health care. You thought I was lying? No, I'm not lying. I think people need to understand this. And this bill that passed today says that no state can change anything about AI. Only the federal government. And let's see what our federal government is using AI for.
Often illegally, and no one's watching, which is exactly what the tech industry wants. Now, the most powerful companies in the world are mounting an unprecedented lobbying push to make sure it stays that way.
State lawmakers could soon be barred from regulating artificial intelligence for the next decade.
I guess shocked is the wrong word. More horrified, right?
And they're calling it a favor.
The biggest risk could be missing out.
But here's what the executives don't want you to know. Why the rush? Why buy influence at every level of government? Why risk dismantling legal protections that took decades to build? Because behind the promise of a golden age for humanity, they're hiding something much more cynical. About 6 years ago, a health insurer worked with hospitals to use AI to determine patient care. The algorithm saw less money spent on Black and poor patients and concluded they needed less care. This wasn't a lab experiment, but something deployed across 200 million Americans. We have laws that make this illegal. In fact,
So if a corporation had a person sitting there saying that Black people need less medical care, and they did it, you would be able to sue somebody. And the clawing back of our rights, the clawing back of our rights. At the same time, they are. This is bias. This is straight up bias. And once they find an algorithm that says that they feed it out throughout the whole nation, this is what they have already found, that you need to spend less money on the health care of Black people. But Black people want to sit up and brag about themselves not voting. Well, not all of us Black people, but Black people want to sit up and poke their chests out as if they did something by not voting. Well, this is what they did, and let's hear the rest.
we have a whole bunch of rules.
Hey, Tisa, welcome.
To protect people from all sorts of abuse. Antitrust laws to keep power. We have a whole bunch of rules to protect people from all sorts of abuse. Antitrust laws to keep powerful businesses in check. Protections for consumers and children. Rules that keep your medical records private. Civil rights. Labor protections. Equal opportunity. Intellectual property. And resting on top of this imperfect foundation is us, society. But right now, companies are using AI in ways that break these laws. And most of the time, nobody knows until the damage is done.
Much of what we know is the product of, whistleblowing or investigative journalism or independent research, rather than companies doing their due diligence and making sure that in the first place, they're complying with the laws that we already have.
That's Sarah Myers-West. She previously advised the Federal Trade Commission on artificial intelligence.
The way that AI's opacity works is that it makes it harder for us to seek accountability.
Artificial intelligence executives tend not to talk about this. Instead, we hear stuff like this.
We can cure all disease. We can travel to the stars. We have unlimited power.
To be clear, there are some really promising applications of AI, but the biggest ones are in the future. Here's what we know is happening right now. Amazon hoarding recordings of your kids indefinitely. Your biometric data being harvested and sold to police departments. Companies rejecting job applicants based off of facial analysis. Health insurers are accused of using AI to mass reject medical claims. Landlords may use it to collude around rent prices. There's probably more. We don't know because there's no federal laws that require companies to tell us what's actually going on. So that's where the state stepped in.
Right now, states like California, Colorado, and some others are considering bills that sort of address AI.
Brian Merchant covers technology.
Okay, so California and some other states saw the writing on the wall and decided to say, hey, we need to rein this in. We need to understand exactly what we're getting into. So then what happens? It's snuck into the big, beautiful bill that no states can regulate AI. Let's continue.
Technology. He's been watching Silicon Valley's AI push from the beginning. These bills, according to Brian, it's basic stuff. Follow the law. Be transparent about AI use. Common sense guardrails to ensure AI is subject to the same rules as everything else. Then in May, something changed. Buried deep in Trump's big, beautiful budget bill was a provision.
Now, the tax bill bans states from regulating AI for a decade.
I guess shocked is the wrong word. More horrified, right? It's pretty clear that the end game, if they're successful, is just no rules, no meaningful regulations around AI at all.
After weeks of negotiations, Republicans ultimately dropped the ban.
Just the fact that the Republicans and Silicon Valley are willing to sort of team up to try to do this, I think is worrying enough. And it's sort of a sign of what's to come.
How does an industry manage to exert so much power that it could make it illegal for state and local governments to govern them at all for a decade?
Follow the money, and that's really all you have to do.
That's Ruman Chadhari, former.
Follow the money. That's all you have to do. And what has this big, beautiful bill done? It gave billionaires. To understand how many people there are in the United States, there are, I think it's 87 or 86 billionaires in the United States, while there are, what is it? I forget how many million people that are in the United States. And you have had all of these Republican senators appease 89 people at the cost of children going hungry, old people going hungry, old people getting put out of their nursing homes with nowhere to go, out at the cost of these things that they, Mitch McConnell said, y'all will get used to it. Y'all will get used to it. Let's continue. 89 people benefited and didn't have to say one word for all of these senators to give them the largest tax cut in the history of the United States. As if income inequality is not staggering already. Let's continue.
AI envoy for the State Department used to run Twitter's ethical AI team, past tense, because Elon Musk fired her. Since ChatGPT triggered the current AI gold rush, 5 major tech companies have poured over $100 million into lobbying the federal government. But there's more to it.
We talk a lot about lobbying. There are also other ways in which companies influence what happens in the policy space.
Major tech companies bankroll academic research, steering the whole field.
This was not necessarily maliciously done, right? This comes from the fact that these companies have so much more money than academic institutions.
In some ways, they're richer than the government.
Foundations within this community have funded interns or full-time staff in Senate and congressional House offices around the US as public interest technologists.
Theodora Skiatis worked with Ruman at Twitter. She was also a victim of Musk. But it goes a lot deeper than paying for congressional staffers to advise politicians. It's the actual bureaucracy itself.
The US AI Safety Institute, housed in the National Institute for Standards and Technology under the Department of Commerce in the executive branch, increasingly has absorbed more individuals from this ecosystem.
All of this influence, the lobbying, the academic funding, the staffing pipeline, it's having exactly the effect they want. I started this reporting focused on Texas. Policy experts told me that Republicans there were working on a fantastic AI bill.
We're setting the tone, and it's being used as a model in other states to say, hey, this is data, it's important, let's protect it.
I called, emailed. None of the sponsors would talk to me about it. Then weeks later, this happened.
Representative Giovanni Capriglione is celebrating the success of his omnibus artificial intelligence bill.
But the bill was completely rewritten, gutted. A former FTC lawyer told me that it gave the industry exactly what they wanted. Politicians are falling in line, but the public, people want more AI regulation, not less, by almost 3 to 1. And when you've spent that much money and people still think you're full of there's only one move.
We're in a race with China. And my view is if they're going to be killer robots, I'd rather they be American killer robots than Chinese.
There's for a long time.
Okay, so now is propaganda. When you have gone to the American people and you still can't win them over, the only people you have to win over are these elected officials who are supposed to be doing the bidding for the people. But now now it's a national security thing. That is what they always said. Like that strike on Iran was about national security. Bullshit. How many billions of dollars were spent on that attack on Iran? It's bullshit. Now you would rather have and who is he talking to? Who's sitting over there with his hands in his legs, hands and legs purse, none other than another AI manipulator. Okay, so now you would rather it's a national security thing, and I would rather have killer robots, American killer robots. But who American killer robots gonna be killing? You think that you're going to send these killer robots over to China? No, the American killer robots are going to be here killing us. They're trying to stifle our rights and our voices. And unfortunately, fortunate for them, but unfortunately for us, that's why do you think they want to dismantle the Department of Education? Because it's easier to fucking herd sheep that are dumb. Okay.
Time been this discourse that emerges at moments where AI is very close to being more stringently regulated, around there being an arms race between the US and China.
Be afraid. Be afraid. Pure evil exists. Okay, it does exist. Okay, and these people, they plan on dominating us in AI, in chips.
Industry voices argue that if we subject AI to all the usual rules, it will slow down AI development and cause the US to lose the AI race to China. There's just one potential problem with their argument.
China actually has a very developed, responsible AI framework.
They are one of the best regulated AI environments in the world. I'm concerned that this kind of competitive language is a Trojan horse for deregulation, and where regulation is warranted.
Even accepting the China threat at face value, there's no reason to deregulate because China isn't. In that case, what's the ultimate goal of AI companies? I asked everyone I spoke with.
Consolidation of power.
Maximize profits.
Power.
Profit.
And this is the dirty little secret of the industry.
So the AI industry has actually been, in some ways, in real financial trouble.
I'm standing here outside a Meta data center. Investors have been pouring money into AI infrastructure projects. This one has cost about $700 million. Overall, it's tough to give an exact amount on the industry's investment because all of this money is private. But everyone more or less guesses it's at about $200 billion.
There is no clear path to profitability.
The original idea was that AI was going to be sold to businesses, but that has failed to materialize for all of the reasons that AI just isn't working all that well in the first.
Okay, so they originally wanted to sell it to business, supermarkets and the McDonald's that had just have the AI and the self-checkouts and all of those things. They really originally just wanted to just take your jobs. Microsoft is firing 35,000 people. If you guys didn't know, Microsoft is firing that many people before the end of the year, and they expect to fill a lot of those jobs with AI. Let's keep it a buck. But they ran into a problem. It wasn't as profitable as they thought and all the hiccups and them not being able to perfect it quick enough. That Meta campus that they showed right here, that is in, I forget, I did a story on that. I forget, I think it's in Texas. And this campus is polluting everything around it. They are buying up more and more land around it, and the people around them are suffering. Pretty much like the town in Brownsville, Texas, that Elon Musk purchased to shoot off his rockets, and actually incorporated the Brownsville into its own town, is fucking up the ecosystem and fucking up people's houses, their well waters, and all of that. And the most recent AI venture that Elon Musk has in Memphis, Tennessee. If you didn't hear the story that I did on Memphis, Tennessee, how they have 33 carbine engines running, where they got a permit to operate 0 of those engines. They didn't even bother to get a permit. These are the big engines that they take into towns and stuff to power the whole town after disasters. They're this huge, and they'll bring 1 or 2 into your town to get the town up and running. He is running 33 and never told anybody that he would be running them, emitting all types of poisons in the air of the Black Memphis community, where his AI plant is plucked right in the middle of. Didn't even give a fuck to even act like he needed a permit. Why? Because he acquired the land in a non NDA selling, and the board members didn't even know that he was bringing this to their town. He purchased this under an NDA, allegedly with the mayor, the city council, and nobody knew anything about this. This is what rich people do, and the fallout falls upon everyday people. So let me continue.
Place.
These systems require the use of immense amounts of resources, compute. They assume that if they get enough people to use a product like ChatGPT, if it's popular enough, then there just has to be a way.
But they didn't find a way. So what way are they using now? They're selling it to our military and our government. That's the way that they have found. And why do you think that there's a 10-year ban on making any changes to AI? Because they have tapped into our government system to be able to make their profit off of the government. And it's always been at your peril, your and my peril.
In February, a hedge fund did some back envelope math. If you strip out investments in data centers and training, how much money was actually spent on buying actual AI products and services? About 16 billion, maybe less. To actually turn a reasonable profit, they need to raise that number to about 200 billion.
Industry revenue is growing, but the money behind it is getting nervous. Exact estimates vary, but the general thesis has been backed by major venture capitalists and investment banks. And there's one thing that potentially complicates business cases for these systems: our existing laws.
If there are any road bumps into how they can do that, then selling enterprise AI software suddenly becomes less appealing, both to them and to the clients.
These road bumps are society's foundations. Fair credit reporting violations, when AI denies loans without proper disclosures. Fraud statutes, when AI systems hallucinate financial results and deceive investors. Equal employment violations, when you weed out candidates from women's colleges. Civil rights violations, when a biased data set doesn't suggest medical care to poor or Black people. And these protections are exactly what deregulation is trying to undo.
I don't see how that's good for anybody except for the few firms that are making a ton of profit off of it.
But here's the thing about companies that spend hundreds of billions of dollars on products with no clear path to profitability. They try to create their own reality.
So a lot of terms are being thrown around by CEOs that sound incredibly impressive. Artificial general intelligence is one.
That's a theoretical type of AI that possesses human intelligence and can perform any intellectual task a person can.
We said from the very beginning we were going to go after AGI.
I'm sure you've heard it before.
How long before we're literally dealing with a god?
It used to be that like AGI was this very binary moment.
OpenAI has had a definition of AGI in its charter, and I quote from its charter: highly autonomous systems that outperform humans at most economically valuable work.
Microsoft and OpenAI have an investment deal that further defines AGI.
In the contract language, specifically that they would consider a system AGI once it had generated $100 billion in profits.
Let that sink in. Artificial general intelligence isn't about curing cancer or American dominance. It's about whatever makes them $100 billion. And suddenly, everything clicks. The state preemption bills, the lobbying, the policy capture, the China scare tactics, all of it designed to eliminate any regulation that might slow their path to power and profit.
So you just keep that in mind whenever you hear of, OpenAI talking about how it's going to cure cancer or build a technology that's going to benefit all of humanity. This is the aim. It's to build the most potentially profitable, the most business friendly, the most worker crushing technology in history.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. If you have ideas for stories you want us to uncover next, please drop them.
Okay, so that is what I wanted you to kind of connect with this big ugly bill. Hey, Bernice. Thank you, Bernice, for all of your support. I really appreciate you. See, it's not what they're telling you. It's what they're not telling you. These are the things that they are not telling you that are also to your peril. Hold on a second. Do we think that AI wouldn't be denying us any type of medical claims or things like that? Why would we think that? When United Healthcare, that is the reason why United Healthcare CEO allegedly was shot down on the street, because he was the creator of this great AI thing that they knew was flawed. Understand, they knew this was flawed, and he put it in. He put it to work at United Healthcare, and it denied 90% of the doctor's referral for treatments, for tests, and they knew it was flawed. And after he got shot down, what did the CEO of United Health come out and say? He said, "We will continue the work of this man who set up this system where AI is denied." So do you think that now that they are in the government, and the government is bold enough to be like, we don't care if 17 million people are going to lose health insurance? So when all of these people start overrunning these emergency rooms, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think they just going to keep letting all of these the few and let's not forget all of the hospitals and care facilities that are going to close because of this bill as well? So you think that all of these hospitals are going to just suck up all of these patients? No, they're not. No, they're not. Hey, the only Empress, good to see you. So that is the major thing that I really wanted to share with you. Let me let me let me let me see if there's anything else. Oh, if you guys didn't hear about a couple of days ago, 4547 went over to Florida to muse about how detainees would have to learn to run in zigzag lines because they're building at Auschwitz in the Everglades. Don't think that. Do you think that they are building this just for the immigrants? 4547 has stated also while he was there that he wanted to send U.S. citizens there. So do you think he just want to send U.S. prisoners there? He's not just sending a criminal aliens to these death camps. Now, this Albrio guy who they had to bring back from El Salvador, and they put more charges on him. When he saw his judge, he says, "No, do not release me. I would rather stay in your custody because I do not want to turn around and be arrested in ICE custody." He has also filed a lawsuit against our government because he was tortured when he was in El Salvador. So do you think that they spent $450 million? $450 million they're saying that they spent to build this Auschwitz. They want to call it alligator Alcatraz. No, it's going to be more like alligator Auschwitz. Okay, so Florida, Ron DeSantis spent $450 million in taxpayer dollars to build his Everglades gulag, only to have it flood on its first day. Did you guys know that this Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz, flooded on its first day out in the Everglades? You know, the Everglades is known for having water. So, this is who we have in charge of our government talking about waste, fraud, and abuse. As soon as the proud governor's so-called alligator Alcatraz opened its doors yesterday, reporter Jason Delgado spotted water leaking into the room, spreading across electrical cords and the bases of flag poles. Now, while the DeSantis team boasts that the detention center, expected to cram 3,000 migrants at a time, can handle a category 2 hurricanes, all it took was a simple summer sprinkle to flood its interior, and to think that DeSantis showed up without his fancy white rubber boots. They've been clowning him about some rubber boots he showed up with for years. He showed up on a hurricane scene with some rubber boots, some white rubber boots, so they've been clowning him about that for years. Okay, Florida officials claim the facility situated in the middle of the muggy, naturally flooded Everglades is sturdy enough to withstand winds of a category 2 hurricane, despite its exterior being a tent. There are no hurricanes or severe thunderstorms brewing outside, just typical summer showers that much of the states experience daily this time of year. Raindrops website estimated that about a quarter of an inch of rain fell on Tuesday at the city of Ochahapi, which is closest to the tent. So let me make sure I'm sharing this. Yes, I am sharing this. Let's see a little clip of what a quarter inch of rain did to this $450 million structure. The link is in my description box. I just wanted to share this with you. A tent. We see that this is a tent. Let me make sure you see that this is a tent. You see the tent. This is I wouldn't even want to go to this if it was a circus in the middle of the Florida Everglades. A tent. There are also questions about how are they hooking up the plumbing. How could you hook up any type of plumbing system in the Everglades? So it is said that they are going to put what do you call those septic systems in the Everglades. So you mean to tell me that you want me to believe that you going out there where all these alligators are and you are digging a septic system in there? And when you dig a septic system, it's not that you just that you dig the system to a pipe that connects to the system underground. You then have to dig more pipes going from the septic tank to flush out. It's like you have to have enough sand to catch the impurities. It goes out further beyond the septic tank to flush out onto the rest of your property. So you mean to tell me that they did all of this? No. The toilets are already overflowing as well. Let's look at what's going on in this $450 million investment. Here we go. Oh God, I don't have an account at X. Just show me the fucking shit. I was able to the other day. Here we go. Day one. Category 2 storm, the way this roof is failing. Can you imagine a hurricane going through here? But they just say it and people never question this. Do you see this water? Do you see all of these extension cords on the floor? Okay. I just wanted to show you what is going on with this administration who is seeking to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. Hey, Miss Ray. Hey, Dr. Soapy. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a great day. That is also in my description box. Let me see. There is one thing else I want to show you. Trump promises to deport American-born citizens. These are the detention centers that his rich, who's profiting from these detention centers. These are private centers, for-profit places to take people to. And now, if you don't think all of this is coordinated, so to speak, where are they going to send these black people to? Let me share this with you. Let you hear it from his own mouth. Here we go.
They roll to our country. Many of them
Trump
in our country
promises to deport American-born citizens as his next job. Okay.
They're not new to our country. They roll to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together.
While touring Donald Trump's alligator Alcatraz, his concentration camp within the borders of the United States. No shocker that it sprung up in Florida first. I mean, it was a competition. Is it going to be Texas? Is it going to be Florida? Where's the concentration camp first going to be opened in the United States under Donald Trump? Well, Florida won. And yesterday they toured it, celebrating it, making jokes about it, laughing about it. And Donald Trump sat for a little press conference where he did not miss a moment to talk about deporting, not a thing for United States citizens, but deporting American citizens. Like, I want to say this before I play the clip. Again, to all of you out there, there's not many in my audience, I don't believe, but there's been a lot of talk about the people who shamed people like me, people like you, if you got criticized for being an alarmist, for saying, look, he's going to be.
I remember I was catching a review, a preview. I was catching Ness, and she just out, she's doing her thing. And Ronnie Q, she's over there, she's all scared and she's all panicked. Well, bitch, how does your family feel that he is taking away the citizenship from all Haitians, bitch? No, I was over here speaking facts. But Ronnie Q is all over here panicking and stuff. Let's continue.
Coming after citizens. It's not just going to be illegal aliens. It's not just going to be migrants. It's not just going to be people who are here with protected status, foreigners. It's not just going to be that. The natural progression of this. Look, how many times do I have to read from Timothy Snyder's little pamphlet book on tyranny about anticipatory obedience and exactly what's going to take place? So these are the hallmarks of tyranny, of fascism, of authoritarianism. It's not just going to be those other groups, the others. It's going to be us. We're next. Citizens will absolutely be harmed if we don't start standing up for the most vulnerable in our communities, in our society, in our country. They'll come for us next. What's the poem? First they came for this group, and I wasn't part of that group, so I didn't say anything. And no, they came for this other group, but I wasn't part of that, so I didn't say anything. And next they came for me. I'm very much brutalizing the exact verbiage of the little poem, the little saying. But it's true. We're next. And they're signaling that we are next. Here's Donald Trump sounding the clarion call about how he's ready to deport United States citizens.
I'd like to say, a little controversial, but I couldn't care less. We have a lot of bad criminals that came into this country, and they came in stupidly. It was an unforced error. It was an incompetent president that allowed it to happen. It was an auto pen maybe that allowed it to happen. And it did happen. But we also have a lot of bad people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to.
Many of them were born in our country. Many of them were born in our country. What country were you born in? You as an individual. What country were you born in? We remember when this deportation was first presented. It was presented to get rid of all of the bad people, all the 13 in Trande Aragua, a gang that I'm pretty sure many of us, I'm just going to speak for myself, I've never heard of. It was about getting away, getting these people out of the country. Many of them have come from insane asylums and crazy houses and jails. Remember the push for them? And now they're going up into places where these people are working, meat packing companies, catching them at Home Depot, catching them downtown LA where they're working in the warehouses downtown LA, restaurants, all of this type of stuff. They had a shot of ice out on a field in Ontario, some vegetable field, a huge vegetable field. And this man is running away from ICE. 3 ICE agents, alleged ICE agents, were hunting him down out in the fields picking fruit. So now, here he goes again. He starts with, there's plenty of people and they're knocking people over the head, and they've been here for years. Some of them were born here. So we're bringing it on as we're talking about criminals. We're talking about hardened criminals. The same way he talked about the Hispanics who came here. He talked about them as criminals and made you think that they were all criminals. Well, if they came across the border illegally, they are criminals. Even the ones who had court cases who they had came in through the natural port to seek asylum. And what did they do? They shut down all of the avenues where any person could seek asylum, and therefore eliminated all of their court cases. And then what did they do? And then they went outside and waited for them to go to court and the judge to say the case was dismissed, and you had ICE out there waiting to arrest them. See, because nobody has a problem. Well, maybe some people. I don't have a problem with deporting people. But what they are doing is really disgusting. What they're doing is really disgusting. See, I have a problem. Every country has a right to have its borders. But what this man is doing is outright against the Constitution. So these are the problems and the issues with this. Now, that's regarding them. That's regarding them, you understand. Those people. And do you understand how many American people have been caught up in ICE for days? Not even American Hispanic people. People who they looked at, profiled, and thought that they could be Hispanic, and they snatched them off the street. Straight up, full-blooded American citizens. Now, he's saying that he should deport American citizens. So how the fuck do you think that's going to work out for us? Let's continue.
Get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But the street, they're not new to our people that have been here for a long time. People that whack people over the head with a baseball bat from behind when they're not looking and kill them. People that knife you when you're walking down the street. They're not new to our country. They're old to our country. Many of them were born in our country. I think we ought to get them the hell out of here too. You want to know the truth. So maybe that'll be the next job that we'll work on together. But I think getting them out, we forget about them. We had some bad accidents in New York. And they're not accidents.
We also have a lot of bad people that have been here a long time. Many of them were born here. That means you're a citizen. If you're born on the soil of the United States of America, you're a citizen. According to the same document that Donald Trump swore an oath to, the same document that Stephen Miller swore an oath to, the same the saying, the poem. Yeah, we're going to go with poem. Don't fall into the trap of that, of ignoring that message. Don't say, oh, they're not going to come for me. They're only coming for illegal aliens. Oh, and then you'll also fall into the
that poem. I have read this poem out aloud to you because it's important. They came first for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unions, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade union. Then they came for the what is that? The Catholics, and I didn't speak up because I was Protestant. And then they came for me. And by that time, there was no one left to speak up for me. I've read this poem to you guys because I think that it's important. People are under the misunderstanding, like these idiots who voted for 45, 47, who about to lose all of their health insurance, who about to lose their food stamps. I'm not on food stamps. I can talk about things and it not directly affect me. But if it directly affects you, my neighbor, somebody in my family, it's going to directly affect me. You people want to sit up here and act like, oh, well, I'm not worried about. Jay Wilson sit up there and act like he is the cream of the crop. He's so unworried, unbothered. And this motherfucker is, what is today? The 3rd of the month. We just got paid on the 21st of last month, and this motherfucker can't even slide a debit card through McDonald's and pay for coffee without it being rejected, while he's sitting up here want to talk about the living situations and arrangements of other people. Let's call it a buck. See, a whole lot of people out here faking the front. I not understand that there is a phrase of fake it till you make it, but the fucking hammer is about to go down on a lot of people and a lot of people in their bullshit. But they are so unaware and unconcerned. Let me see what else he have that 45, 47 is running his lips about.
You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You don't have to reach millions of people with a platform like this to be in the target. You don't. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of yourself. The trap. Don't think, oh, it's just thought, oh no, I'll support Donald Trump because he's only coming for the criminal illegal aliens. He's not coming for the hardworking migrant workers, the people who are actually paying taxes and contributing to society. Yes, he is. They've learned that now. Don't fall into the trap. Don't think, oh, it's just naturalized citizens, not me. Yes, it is. It's you. They're coming for all of us. If you deny the progress of his agenda, you'll be in the crosshairs too. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. You don't have to reach millions of people with a platform like this to be in the target. You don't. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of yourself by taking care of your neighbors in your community, whether you know them or not. Anyway, what do you think? I would appreciate your feedback. Very, very important stuff. The writing is...
Okay, this link is in my description box. I think that it's important that we understand these things. These are some important things. I want to show you how much these undocumented immigrants actually give back to our country. Let me share this with you. We're going to compare and contrast real quick. Let me see. Here we go. Let me share this last video. Here we go. The cruelty. Okay, if you are not familiar with this page, I've had it. I think you will enjoy this page. In the start of this video, they're talking about what is his name? El Greo, the guy who was sent to El Salvador. What he said was done to him. They're reading from his court complaint, but she is also talking about something that is very fascinating as well. She is talking about all of these people who are so giddy. They were sitting up there dancing poorly, of course, to the YMCA song when they signed this bill, dancing with the knowledge of what it was going to do to people, only to pad the pockets of the most rich 89 people in the United States. 17 million people about to lose their health insurance, and they're dancing about it. So let me show you this. Let me make sure I'm sharing it. Here we go. Let me slow her down a little bit.
Spoke out explicitly 5 or 6 times in the Bible against the accumulation of wealth and greed. So here's Twitter user Maine. They like the torture. All right. And then let's remember why they're distracting everybody with this. Let's remember why they're serving up cruelty to the working class Americans that have been deeply indoctrinated by their megachurch pastors and their hellfire damnation preachers, and left behind by their congressmen that will not raise their wages and pay them a cent, and instead give it to the wealthy. And I want to remind everybody, I'm not a Christian, but according to the book, Jesus Christ spoke out explicitly 5 or 6 times in the Bible against the accumulation of wealth and greed. So here's Twitter user Maine, and he spells it out crystal clear. Taxes paid by illegals in 2023, $89.8 billion. Taxes paid by Tesla in 24, 0. Taxes paid by General Electric in 24, 0. Taxes paid by Facebook in 2024, 0. FedEx 2024, crickets, zip, zilch, nada. Nike in 24, 0. Airbnb in 2023, 0. By 3M in 2023, $0. So a couple things here. They're going to stop the immigrants who pay into all of these services that they can't access. And personally, I think that's inhumane. I think that's inhumane that an illegal immigrant comes over here and pays into all of this stuff. And if they get cancer, we as a country, as a Christian nation, are going to turn them away from healthcare. But I'll let all of you Christians sort that out with your Lord and personal Savior when you pray at night. But we're going to lose the 89.8 billion. And then these corporations, that list that I just read where they're all paying 0, that's going to grow. So for all the fiscal Republicans have a bill that is going to be Trump's signature legislation.
What would Jesus do about a tax system that benefits the rich over the poor? What would Jesus do about a healthcare system that forces the sick to start GoFundMe pages to afford life-saving surgeries? What would Jesus do about an education system that ties a child's school funding to their community's property wealth? What would Jesus do about a justice system that incarcerates more people than any other country on the face of the earth? And what would Jesus do about an economic system that prioritizes profits over the health of our planet? Would he stay in his room and pray? Or would he walk into the seat of power and flip over the tables of injustice? We Christians are called to do more than charity. We are called to challenge the systems that make charity necessary.
I think this is so good because he's a much credible messenger than I.
Okay, I don't know how long I was on mute. God, hey Mia C. Grand. Good afternoon, good evening. I don't know how long I was on mute, but I just I played him earlier in the year when he was going up against someone in there. He's a congressman in Texas and either a state senator or a congressman in Texas who was going up against some religious zealot that wanted to vote on if the Ten Commandments should or would be hung up in every public classroom. So I just wanted to give you guys that. I have a couple of more links in the chat that you guys may want to avail yourself to about this. Let me see. Oh, now I really want to talk about this. A lot of hold on. Hold on one sec. Where is this? Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, here it is. My God. Okay, so we're going to talk about Zoran Mondani. This guy who beat Andrew Cuomo for the Democrat seat to run for mayor of the state of New York. So now there's been a whole lot of Muslim hate, just straight out racism going on about him. So 4547 said that New York doesn't deserve a person like him to be the mayor. And if he wins, he's going to do, he got a whole lot of things that is not going to allow him, if he wins, to have his seat. And then they asked him what he was going to do. And well, there's plenty of things that I can do. So I already told you yesterday that Florida has canceled their elections. They said that they wanted to bring it in line with the census or some bullshit like that. Now, a lot of people are thinking like, well, we're gonna have to get our message together for the midterms in 2026. Listen. Florida just canceled an election, and it's going to go to the courts, and whatever the courts decide, they're going to take it to their state Supreme Courts, and they are going to take it to our federal Supreme Court after that. They are trying to get a precedent, in my opinion. They are trying to get a precedent about just canceling elections. So the Florida legislator, mainly Republican, has canceled their elections. So you have 4547 saying that if this man wins, that he is going to do something because New York doesn't deserve him as a mayor. Well, if he wins, that means New York would have elected him as a mayor. Do we not understand? If he wins, that means that's who New York chose. Okay, so you have to pay attention to what's going on, because God, you would hate to think about this type of stuff, but I definitely do believe that they will cancel this midterm election, because I think that with this vote, it's going to be impossible for these Republicans to retain their seat. And on the cusp of that happening, when polls start rolling in, when primaries start, and they see that they can't get their sheeps in, do you think that they won't cancel the midterm elections? Hey, Candy Cane. Hey, Sandy. You enjoy this? You mean the women? What is it? I've had it. I enjoy them as well. So let me share this last one with you. 45, 47 talk. They are very frightened by this guy because they just knew that Andrew Cuomo would, eviscerate him. But it turned out to be the other way around, and they didn't see it coming. So let's check out the majority report and what he has to say about this. Trump terrified or Zoran?
Zoran Mamdani.
Congressman Andy Ogles, he wants the Attorney General Bondi to explore denaturalization proceedings because he thinks Mamdani could have misrepresented or concealed material support for terrorism based on rap lyrics he wrote in 2017. Does President Trump think this is a worthwhile use of the Attorney General's time?
Well, I'll let the...
Did you hear this question? Did you hear this question? That they want the Attorney General to investigate him because he had some terrorist feelings based upon a rap lyric, some rap lyrics that he wrote in 2017. That's Fox News. Steve Ducey's son, the other dunce Ducey. This is the question. Let's continue.
President speak to that. I have not seen those claims, but surely if they are true, it's something that should be investigated.
This Congressman Andy.
What should we investigate him and talking about taking his United States citizenship back from him? That was the question. They are trying to figure out ways that they can remove his citizenship because he won a race that they expected him to have no possible chance on. All of this thing that he wouldn't he used the word what is it, fada or some I don't know, what is it, not infidel, infada or some shit, and he should be banned, and he didn't say that it was a bad thing, and he didn't do this and he didn't do that. He only mentioned the word in an explanation of how someone else had used the word. They act as if he decided to come up there and I don't even know, what is it, infada, infidel, or not infidel, it's something else, some other Muslim word, and they are up in smoke, and he should lose his citizenship for that too, for explaining. And in his explanation, that's why they say when you define the word, you're not supposed to use the word when you in the definition of defining the word. So there's that. There's a lot going on. They want to take his citizenship, and okay, let's continue.
You know what should be investigated is the idea that rap lyrics from 2017 or really at any time could be perceived as material support for a terror organization that would get you denaturalized. Never mind Zoran Mamdani. Never mind the intentions. I think we should just investigate. Wait, what? Rap lyrics?
Yeah, and I'm seeing this Holy Land Foundation stuff come up a lot. This is just from a Democracy Now! Coverage of the story in 2009. 5 founders of the Holy Land Foundation, one of the nation, and this is, he apparently mentioned or referenced this charity allegedly in lyrics. 5 founders of the Holy Land Foundation, once the nation's largest Muslim charity, have received prison terms of up to 65 years on charges of supporting the Palestinian group Hamas. The 5 were never accused of supporting violence and were convicted for funding charities that aided needy Palestinians. The government's case relied on Israeli intelligence as well as disputed documents and electronic surveillance gathered by the FBI over a span of 15 years. I mean, this is just bullshit.
Total. And here is Donald Trump.
So what's the problem with him? What's the problem with Zurhan? The problem with him is he's Palestinian. His father was a Palestinian. His father left Palestine dirt poor. Is a prominent. I think he's a prominent doctor. In fertility doctor. So Chris Cuomo was called himself dragging him and said that he is from no pedigree. Someone else called himself dragging him because he's just a spoiled little rich kid. See, they can't figure out what to do with him, but what they don't want to address is his message that permeated the electorate and had them vote him overwhelmingly over Andrew Cuomo. That's what they can't discuss. Let's continue.
Trump with Ron DeSantis down at the so-called Alligator Alcatraz, which is a gulag that Ron DeSantis has set up down there to funnel money into his private prison buddies. They have just, Donald Trump has okayed the use of National Guard lawyers to function as administrative judges, immigration judges down there.
National Guard lawyers are going to be acting as immigration lawyers. How do you think that's going to work when they are employed by the government who wants to get all of these people out of the United States? So how do you think these people trials are going to go? Additionally, there is something else that I want to share with you after that that may shock you. Okay. I'm going to save that until we finish this. It may not shock you.
And here is Trump on that question about Mamdani.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zoran Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE.
Do we know who asked this question?
And this is the press. This is who 4547 brings with him as his White House press corps. This is the White House press corps. While he throws out the Associated Press because they refuse to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. But you have these idiots out here. We may soon have a communist. Do you hear? Did you hear this? This is a question. Okay, so let's be clear. Zoran Mandami said that he is a socialist. So we are equating this to a communist. Let's continue.
Question? Could we not find out?
I don't know. We could try to find that.
I'll try to look it up.
Your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zoran Mandami,
Well, let me see this.
who in his...
Sorry.
Be led by a communist soon, Zoran Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zoran Mandami.
Well, then we'll have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation. We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look at the per capita, Florida gets 1/3 of what New York gets in terms of the numbers. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, well,
Because that's what we should send him.
Yeah, well, like sometimes people say Florida gets more because they count Social Security recipients, but that's not money to the state. Those are seniors that live here. If they move to North Carolina, you could count it there. So it has no interaction with the state government. They get more in the city and state governments than we get.
Right. substantially. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything, and ideally.
A lot of people are saying he's here illegally. We're going to look at that. Who are these people? Who are these people? He's a naturalized citizen. Wouldn't these people who let him, who he filed all of his paperwork and gave him his citizenship, have looked over this already? But there's these people are saying. My mom forbade us to carrying. They said, and people said. She wanted to know who said it. We could not do that. We were forbidden to do that. Talking about what people saying and what they said. Okay, let's go back a hair. If you are not, if you don't watch, is this the damage report? Hold on. Breaking points? No, it's not breaking points.
And ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything. And ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist.
He's a communist, not
the Majority Report. So he took a question where the guy said, we're going to have this communist and this communist and this communist. And he answered the question as if we're going to have to watch him very carefully. And if he's a communist and blah, 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 blah. And I hear he may not be here legally. And then at the end, he lets you know that the man has never said that he was a communist. He said that he was a socialist. Well, we're going to look into it. And if he's a communist, he surely is not a socialist. Where did the word socialist come from? Where in any of that interaction did the word socialist come from? The word socialist came from the knowledge that he already knew when that idiot called him a communist 2 times in that baited question, that he has never identified as a communist. He has identified as a socialist. So this is your government. This is your government talking about, I hear that he may be here illegally, and we're going to have to check on that. Your government, who is paying $450 million for these for-profit prisons to be handed out to their big business buddies, their billionaire buddies. Where do you think they're going to keep getting this money from? So that's all I have to share with you. The Majority Report. If you haven't joined or watched the Majority Report, hey, Miss Queenie, hey, Leonard, please avail yourself to the Majority Report. Let me see. There. Oh, I think there is one more. Oh, this is what I want to share with you about these concentration camps, these that are being set up. I told you when that executive order was signed to release our military in our streets, that under the guise that we needed the military on our streets because of what was going on in Los Angeles. Well, that executive order didn't say Los Angeles. It didn't say California. It said release our military on the street. So guess what our military has been released to doing now. This is the last thing I want to share with you guys. I just want you guys to understand and just try to. I know that the for-profit media ignores a lot of this, but I just want you to move around and understand and get some real information. That's all I'm here. These are my goals, is to inform my public about things that is going to adversely affect them and how they live their lives. With the passage of this bill, it seems like, hey, I'm just doing, this is my program and this is what I'm doing. That's it and that's all. If people don't want to take heed, that is their right to do so as well. So this is my last clip that I want to share with you. Let me get the volume. I hate when it does that.
200 United States Marines will be heading to Florida in the next several days and weeks to help facilitate deportation efforts. Yes, this is happening, and it's happening right now. In a new statement issued by U.S. Northcom, approximately 200 Marines from Marine Wing Support Squadron 272, stationed in North Carolina, are conducting a movement to Florida to augment U.S. ICE Interior Immigration Enforcement mission with critical administrative and logistical capabilities at locations directed by ICE. Marines are now going to be conducting assistance for ICE and deportation efforts in Florida. Now, here's the thing. Marines can't act as law enforcement. They can't actually arrest anyone, but they can support, I guess, logistically. First LA, which the Marines are still stationed there, by the way, now Florida. Spread the word so more people know and follow along for more. I'll have more soon. Yeah, breaking news right now. The United States military is sending Marines to Florida to assist with ICE operations. 200 United States Marines will be heading to Florida in the next several days and weeks to help facilitate deportation efforts. Yes, this is happening, and it's happening right now. In a new statement issued by U.S. Northcom.
So those are the things, that is the information I wanted to give you today. I hope you guys have a great remainder of your day. I will be back in the morning. I apologize for this morning. I apologize for this morning. Saucy, the little white one, she woke me up early. So she had to pee earlier than usual. And so I said, well, let me set my clock back a little since I don't have to wake up to take them out. And no, I said when the clock rang, my alarm went off. I said, well, I can snooze it for a little while because I've already taken the dogs out and stuff. And I tell you, I snoozed, all right. I snoozed until about 7:15. So I apologize and I appreciate all of you guys who woke up to meet me this morning. But unfortunately, I snoozed a little bit too long this morning. But I definitely wanted to come out and discuss the things that are going on and share with you some things that I have found out. Yeah. So I hope you guys have a great remainder of your evening. Thanks for my mods for showing up. I definitely appreciate you. Let me drop Very Carey's link in the chat because Very Carey has been going live with her brain teasers. She usually go live before me. So go over there to Very Carey's and wake up your brain cells. It's always good fun over there. Here's the link to her channel. I've been snoozing too. School is out for summer. There you go. It's good to see you, Miss Queenie. So I'll go over there and check out Very Carey. Put on your alerts and go. Those brain teasers are really, really fun. So I appreciate you guys for being here. I hope you have a great remainder of your day. And go and look at a couple of more. I didn't play all of the clips that I have. You may want to go through my description box and check out a few clips that I have. I thanks to all my members. I appreciate you. So let's get out of here. All right. Bye-bye.